be honest, this lesson is going to be more like 10-1 as opposed to 10-3 because for the most part we're not going to be doing multi-step problems. However, this is a good one to, if you didn't understand how to do 10-2, to slow it down, and if you could get this one, revisit 10-2 because you will be able to do it. That being said, we're going to rewrite this. 6 tons equals how many pounds? And we're going to be looking for the one that has the T and the LB. T standing for ton, LB standing for pound. You can see here T and LB. And what you like about this is they're in the same line, so this is only one step. If they were in two different lines, it would be 2 steps. But T, ton, and LB are both in the same line. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this phrase and you're going to write it right on top of the given ones and the blanks. So on top of the T, ton, you're going to write 1 T. So 1 ton. On top of the LB, you're going to write 2,000. And the reason why I like using a different pen is because you could see it better. Like you could see the 1 go to the 2,000 and you could ask yourself, how did you get from 1 to 2,000? Did you get bigger or smaller? You got bigger. So we're going to multiply. 1 times 2,000 equals 2,000. So if you take this number and multiply it by 2,000, you'll find your missing variable. So 6 times 2,000, 6 times 2 is 12 with 3 extra zeros, will give you that missing variable. And so keep in mind, the stuff that we're putting on red, we didn't make up or anything. We're getting from our conversion chart. We're getting from our little cheat sheet. On top of the ton, we're going to put what it says here, 1 ton on top of the ton. What does it say here? 2,000 pounds. So on top of the pounds, we put 2,000. The reason why I like putting in red is you could ask yourself, how do we get from 1 to 2,000? We got bigger, 1 to 2,000. So 1 times 2,000 equals 2,000. That's our equation. Whatever we have here, we're going to multiply by 2,000 and get our blank one. So 6 times 2,000 equals 12,000. And our final answer is 12,000. Let's do another one. Let's look at this one. 3,200 ounces equals how many pounds? Let's look at this. We have OZ and we have LB. We have OZ and we have LB. Ounces, OZ, and pounds, LB. So we know we're going to be using the first one. And just the first one. We know it's going to be a single step because OZ and LB, ounces and pound, OZ and LB, ounces and pound, are in the same line. The tricky part is to make sure that you're putting the 1 pound on top of the pound. So which one here is the pound? The right side. So make sure to put the 1 pound, or LB, on top. The 16 ounces, make sure you put on top of the ounces. OZ, 16, and over here, 16. So we're taking this sentence, 1 pound, 16 ounces. 1 pound, 16 ounces. 1 pound, 16 ounces. 1 pound, 16 ounces. The reason why I had to put the 16 first is because you want to match up your ounces, OZ. 16 goes on top of this one. The pound goes on top of the pound. And so we switched it, and because we switched it in order to match the ounces of the ounces and the pounds of the pounds, you could see that the number is getting smaller. 16 is here and 1 is here. So how do we go from 16 to 1? We get smaller. We divide by 16. So to go from ounces to pound, we're dividing by 16. We're getting smaller. So we're going to take this number, 3,200, and we're going to divide it by 16. So take your number 3,200 and divide by 16. If you need to, put it inside the house. 3,200 divided by 16. Let's pretend you don't know your 16s very well. Well, you could do it on the side. 16 times 1 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. And so we're going to use, you see the 32 here, 2. Make sure that your variable goes on top of the 32 because it's going into 32, not 3. 16 does not go into 3. 16 times 0 is 3, but 16 times 2 is 32. And there is no leftovers, but you have to bring the 0 down. 16 times 0 is 0. And bring the last 0 down. 16 times 0 is 0. And these zeros are important because they do have a value. So your final answer is 0200 or 200. Okay. Now we're going to scroll down a little to the compare and contrast. And for this, you have 2 choices. Although I'll show you just one. I'll show you the second one in class, so I don't confuse you. Take the 40 ounces and then convert them into the pounds. Once you get this answer, 40 ounces equals how many pounds? Put that answer right here, because 40 ounces is equal to this, and compare. Is this number less than, greater than, or equal to 4? I'll show it to you again. You see this 80? 80 ounces equals how many pounds? And is this answer, 80 ounces equals how many pounds? When you convert this to pounds, is this answer less than, greater than, or equal to 5? Okay. We'll probably set up the word problem, the first one but not the second, and see how you guys do. Mr. Field, so that's a name, this person, and it's a guy, because it's Mr. He ordered 3 tons, so we could write that as 3 tons, of gravel for a driveway at a factory. So this is his total. He ordered 3 tons altogether. How many pounds, the LB, of gravel did he order? This one, it's not like we're comparing and contrasting, so it's not going to look anything like this. And it's not like he's going to do anything with it. It's not like he has 3 tons altogether and he's splitting it up into anything. There's no boxes here. He's not dividing it up. He's not doing anything like that. All he wants to know is 3 tons of gravel. He ordered 3 tons of gravel for his driveway. How many pounds of gravel did he order? That equals how many pounds? His 3 tons of gravel that he needs for his driveway equals how many, I don't know, that's my x, that's my unknown variable, pounds, LB, of gravel did he order. And this statement right here is what you need to solve, and it looks just like the ones above. So, he ordered 3 tons. He's not doing anything to it. It's not getting into smaller pieces. He's not dividing them or subtracting them. He just wants to know how much, the variable, the number, pounds that is. So just convert. This is just a straight conversion. There's no adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing in terms of picture boxes. None of that. 17. Sarah, a girl's name, oftentimes. Let's double check. Yep, there's a her. Sarah can take no more than 22 pounds of luggage on a trip. Her suitcase weighs 112 ounces. How many more pounds can she pack without going over the limit? So she has a complete total. She can take no more than 22 pounds. So that's her complete total. Altogether, she has 22 pounds. You cannot exceed that. You cannot have more than that. Her suitcase weighs 112 ounces. So far, it's 112 ounces. How many more pounds can she pack without going over the limit? She still has some extra space. We don't know how much extra space that is. So, here's her 22 pounds total. She has 112 ounces so far. She has some more space, but we want to find out how much. Now, what you want to do normally is this. These two are not repeating. One is 112, one is x. So, we know the total, and she has amount, and we're taking that amount away. So, it's getting smaller. The two things that get smaller, because you have your dividend, your total here, is either division or subtraction. Here's 112, here's x. It's not repeating, so we're not doing division, we're going to subtract. Now normally we could do 22 minus 112, but because one is pounds and one is ounces, you're going to have to change them. You have two options here. Oh, no, you only have one option. How many more pounds can she pack? We know she has 22 pounds. You have to subtract this many pounds, but you need to convert. Change 112 ounces into pounds. And once you change 112 ounces into pounds, you can now subtract 22 pounds minus this many pounds will tell you how many pounds left over she has. Now, keep in mind we got the 22 pounds on top because that's the total amount that her luggage can take. She has 112 right now, and this we don't know how much she has. Normally we'll do 22 minus 112, but because they have different units, one has pounds and one has ounces, we can't subtract it until we change the ounces into pounds. So 112 ounces equals how many pounds? Looks just like what we did above. Solve that. Once you solve that, you could do 22 pounds minus whatever this is, however many pounds you have, to find out your leftover. All right, good luck. I hope this helps.